Welcome back. In our last session, we discussed about different views of supply chain management and we discussed the cyclic view and the push-pull view. And in push-pull view, we discussed the importance of boundary of push-pull, and as a supply chain manager, the data analytics will help us to decide dynamically where to keep the boundary of push processes and pull processes in a supply chain environment. Now, the supply chain, as we discussed in our last lecture, must be in sync with the competitive strategy of the organization, and we discussed a 3-step procedure for achieving that strategic fit between the competitive strategy and the supply chain strategy. We also discussed that there are different types of functional strategies in a value chain. Right from the new product development to the after sales services, there are various value addition component, and human resource, information technology, finance, accounting, these are supporting functions which help us in achieving the objective of new product development, marketing, distribution, logistics and after sales supports. So, all these functional strategies must be in sync, must be in line with each other, and that is the need of current business environment. If these strategies are not in line with each other, so probably the competitive strategy of the organization cannot be achieved. Now, particularly in this course, we are focusing more on the supply chain strategy, that what is the supply chain strategy and how we should develop with the help of data the robust supply chain strategy which can be fulfilling the supply chain capabilities, and those supply chain capabilities are in line with the customer requirements, and we yesterday in our last lecture discussed that those customer requirements are dynamic, and data analytics may help us in understanding, in continuously monitoring those changing requirements. So, now let us discuss that how the various components of supply chain strategy, or yesterday we discussed that supply chain strategy is manifested, is exhibited in the form of various capabilities, and let us discuss what are those capabilities which a supply chain should develop, and with the help of data analytics, with the help of real time data analysis, we will see that how these capabilities will help us over a period of time to develop a robust supply chain strategy, helping in achieving the competitive strategy of the organization. So, very first capability a supply chain develops, that is in the form of facilities. You need to develop various facilities in a supply chain, and these facilities may be of different types, there may be different roles of these facilities. So, what are the roles of the facilities? What are the sizes of these facilities? What are the locations of these facilities? These are some of the very important questions we like to answer in this particular aspect of supply chain capabilities, that whether my supply chain facility is a manufacturing facility, it can be a warehouse, it can be a distributor, it can be a retailer. So, these are different types of roles my facilities may do, and I need to see what should be the number of these facilities, how many manufacturing locations I require. You have example like company Maruti, company of Tata Motors, company like Hyundai Motors, they have primarily one big manufacturing facility. On the other hand, if you talk of petrochemicals or you talk of some other products which are having multiple manufacturing facilities, you have one big refinery, but then you have so many distribution points, so many outlets through which you can refill your LPG cylinders. So, you need to see what are the different types of roles you expect from your various facilities in your supply chain. There are centralized manufacturing, there are examples of decentralized manufacturing. So, where the unit cost of product, the rule is where the unit cost of the product is very high, you will like to go with centralized manufacturing facility. So, this is based on data, and when the unit cost of the product is low, you can go with decentralized facilities of manufacturing. You can have multiple manufacturing facilities in different markets. So, now it depends upon your target, your type of product, that what type of product you have, and accordingly you will decide the number of manufacturing facility. Again, when you want to achieve high economies of scale, when you want to achieve high economies of scale, you will like to have bigger sizes of your, here you get high economy of scale. If you have a bigger size of manufacturing facility, you get higher economy of scale. The meaning is the cost of production per unit decreases accordingly. And if you are not interested, and obviously when I am talking of higher economy of scale, size should be bigger, and it is more like centralized manufacturing facility. So, when you have centralized manufacturing facility, you can achieve higher economy of scale, and higher economy of scale means your supply chain is efficient one. So, you see how facility can help you on moving from efficiency frontier to responsive frontier. If you are making a bigger facility, if you are making a centralized facility, you are on the left side of this spectrum, and if you are making more facilities, if you are having a decentralized manufacturing system and smaller facilities of manufacturing, you are moving towards the responsiveness side. So, facilities can help us in deciding the type of supply chain strategy you want to have, the type of capabilities you want to have in your supply chain. So, this is about the manufacturing and high economy of scale or low economy of scale. Then same applies for the warehouses, same applies for the distributors, same apply for the retailers. How many wholesalers you want, how many distributors you want, how many retailers you want, what should be the size of these wholesalers, what should be the size of these distributors, what should be the size of these retailers. All these are the questions we want to know in this particular case of facilities. Then another important question we like to have the answer for, that is the location of these points. Where should you locate your warehouse, where should you locate your distribution aspect, where should you locate your retailers? Do you want to have retailer in most expensive location of your city, or you want to have a retailer at a low cost location in your city? So, depending upon your efficiency and responsiveness, if I want to locate a retailer, let us say in Connaught Place in New Delhi or South Extension in New Delhi, probably my supply chain is not a efficient supply chain. But if I am locating a retailer in some of the low cost locations, maybe East Delhi, in Delhi, in that case it is towards the efficiency side of the supply chain. So, the location of the wholesaler, retailer, distributor, manufacturing facility will give you an idea whether you are on the efficiency side or on the responsiveness side. Many of the new factories, many of the new organizations are opening their manufacturing facilities in some of the newly formed states in India to avail the benefits of taxes, to avail different types of incentives given by state governments, given by the central government to promote industrialization in those states. And when you are moving to those places, This is an example of efficiency. While it is more convenient, it is more responsive that you locate your manufacturing facility in NCR, you locate your manufacturing facility near Bombay, near Ahmedabad, which are already very popular manufacturing locations. But the cost of land, the cost of labor and cost of other resources required for manufacturing are already very high on those places. So, though you will get high responsiveness, but cost will be very high. So, many manufacturing facilities are located in these new states to take the advantage of efficiency in your supply chain. So, all these things, that when can I get the tax benefit, where I can get the benefit of income tax, where I can get the benefit of excise, where I can get lower cost of labor, all these things are helping us in a dynamic environment for changing the location of even my manufacturing, which is a costly affair, which is a long term affair, but still many of my friends in this class may be aware that so far we all used to consider China as a location for low cost manufacturing. So, all major manufacturing players of the world, they are looking to locate their manufacturing facilities in China, because Chinese are known to be the very low cost manufacturing locations. But if you read the recent reports, you will find that the benefit of China of low cost manufacturing is now no longer existing because of higher cost of wages, because of higher labor rates, etc. And now that benefit is going to even Southeast Asian countries like Cambodia, like Vietnam and all those places, smaller places. So, the benefit is shifting to Vietnam and Cambodia type of countries. So, and new manufacturing facilities are going to those countries, particularly Vietnam if I say. So, you can take decision related to your manufacturing facility on continuous watch, on real time watch of your data, that in what type of scenario where I can get the maximum benefit, and accordingly you take the decision to locate your manufacturing facility. So, the first issue is about the facility, that how do I handle this facility issue so that I can get the best of either efficiency and responsiveness. So, my real time data, not exactly on day to day basis, but maybe at some interval I will take decisions about my facilities. I am continuously working on distributors, I am continuously working on my retailers. So, where to locate my new retailers, where to locate my new distributors, what should be the size of these retailers and distributors, all these things are very important decisions for a growing business, and therefore, data analytics will help me in determining the locations of distributors and retailers, and on a long term basis the location and sizes of manufacturers and warehouses can also be determined with the help of available data. The second important decision after facilities in the supply chain, and where data analytics is going to help us maximum, that is inventory. Many decisions related to inventory are very crucial for the supply chain. Now, whenever you have a supply chain, you are keeping inventory of various products in this supply chain. You keep inventory at retailers end, you keep inventory at wholesaler, you keep inventory at manufacturer. Now, the inventory level, what should be the optimum inventory level? So, the level of inventory is a very crucial decision, because the Japanese system of management, which is very popular now, it says that inventory is not a value addition activity in the organization. So, that system is probably, you can say, is anti inventory. we should not keep inventory, because inventory is additional cost to the system. So, in some of the places in the world where things are very close to each other, you can work with systems like JIT, where we are not keeping any inventory and things are readily available to us in real time. But in country like India or in many other countries where one party is geographically distant to 1000 kilometer or more than that, so we need to keep inventory for taking care of lot of uncertainties in the environment. So, inventory is a necessity, you can say, in case of country like India. But what should be the optimum level of inventory? Because whenever you are keeping inventory, there are two types of very important costs which we are incurring. These costs are the ordering cost, and the second is carrying cost. You can say the ordering cost is also known as, depending upon situation to situation, the ordering cost can be loading unloading cost. If a particular packet is coming from wholesaler to retailer, so the loading at the wholesaler and unloading at the retailer, and those types of costs are the part of the ordering cost. The carrying cost or the holding cost, when you are keeping a material with you, you have blocked some of your capital in keeping that material, and when you have blocked the material, blocked the capital in keeping that material, so the opportunity cost, the benefits with that material, with that amount of money, you are deprived of. So, that is the carrying cost. And in other books also you can find that the cost of space involved, the cost of safety involved, the cost of wear and tear involved, all these are the part of carrying cost. So, carrying cost is a very important cost, and there are lot of businesses, because of improper inventory management and the carrying cost is increasing exponentially, businesses gone down. So, the carrying cost, you can say, is such type of evil, it is a disease, you can say, which eats away all your profit. You have a very good supply chain, you have huge demand in your supply chain, but if inventory is not properly managed and if this carrying cost is high, this will take away all your profits. So, for a supply chain manager, and particularly now when we have tools like analytics available with us, we need to pay very sincere efforts for appropriate management of inventory. And for that purpose, we will see that how analytics can help us. The management of inventory requires that we need to adjust ourselves between two things, that we want to have a good customer satisfaction also. So, for that purpose we want to achieve a good service level. So, we want to have high service level, and that is required for a better customer satisfaction, and at the same time we want to minimize the cost of inventory. So, we need a balance, we need a trade off between service level and cost of inventory. If you are increasing the service level for improving the customer satisfaction, so in that case cost of inventory will also be increasing, that is not desirable. We should keep cost of inventory low, and when we focus primarily on cost of inventory, that it should be low, resulting will be the service level will also go down, and that will lead to poor customer satisfaction, that is also not desirable. So, we need to make a trade off between these two things, that there has to be some kind of balance between service level and cost of inventory, and it is very important for a supply chain manager that you continuously monitor, that what is the expected service level for my product, and it is not a constant thing, and therefore real time data analytics will help us to continuously change the service levels. Today I am operating at 80% service level. Let us say with my own assumption I start a business and I am maintaining 80% service level. The meaning of 80% service level is that out of 100 times, if a customer visits to my retail outlet, 80 times, 80 number of times, that customer is able to fulfill his or her requirement. I have readily available products with me, and 80 number of the times, 80 times I am able to fulfill his or her requirements. 20 times I am not able to fulfill the requirement of that customer. So, that is the meaning of 80% service level. Now, that 80% service level gives me some type of cost of inventory, but my data analytics team, my marketing team capturing the data on customer satisfaction may tell this data to me that you are operating probably on a higher service level. Your competitors are operating at 75% of service level, and that gives me a margin of 5% service level, that I can reduce my service level from 80% to 76% or 75.5%, and this will directly translate, this will directly be reflected into my cost of inventory. My cost of inventory will accordingly go down, and when my cost of inventory will go down, this will accordingly increase my profits. So, you can say that real time data analytics with respect to your service level, with respect to your inventory management is very important and very crucial, and it is directly related to the profitability of my entire supply chain. So, therefore, the analytics will help me in developing the capabilities related to inventory, that what should be the optimum level of inventory in my supply chain, and that optimum level of supply inventory will help me to get the optimum level of cost of inventory. So, this is the second important decision area where analytics will help. The first is facility, second is inventory. Now, let us move to the third important area of our discussion, and that will be more like your logistics. That third area is transportation. Transportation, and many of us say transportation is logistics. So, now we are talking of that logistics and transportation, that the movement from one end to another end, from warehouse to retailer, retailer to customer, manufacturer to wholesaler. And nowadays we know that e-commerce is a very current word, buzzword in the area of supply chain. So, where products are directly moving either from manufacturer or wholesaler to customer, bypassing the retailer. So, transportation is becoming a very important area in the supply chain, and analytics will help us to a great extent in solving the transportation related issues. So, now let us see that how transportation related issues can be solved with the help of supply chain analytics or simply the data analytics tool. When you are getting products at a particular supply chain stage, let us say at wholesaler. So, you are getting products from wholesaler, from manufacturer. So, products coming to wholesaler from the manufacturer are coming in big sizes, in big lots. So, you have sufficient economies of scale when products are coming to a particular stage, and when products are going out of that stage, the size of each consignment is much smaller than the inbound consignments. So, you lose economies of scale in the outbound transportation. So, what I am trying to say that you have higher economies of scale in inbound transportation, and to certain extent you lose that economies of scale in your outbound transportation. And this is a very crucial issue, that how far you are able to reduce your economies of scale, how far you are able to sacrifice your economies of scale, because when you are sacrificing economies of scale, it means you are moving towards this side, you are becoming more and more responsive. And when you are keeping economies of scale in your supply chain, even in the outbound transportation, you are remaining to the efficiency side. So, now depending upon your supply chain strategy, you can decide. Certainly you will lose some economies of scale in the outbound strategy, outbound transportation, but to what extent you are ready to sacrifice, whether it is 50%, whether it is 60%, whether it is 70%, whether it is 25%. So, now losing particular economies of scale will determine your position in this efficiency responsiveness spectrum. If you lose too much, you become very responsive, it means you are becoming very close to your customer, so that you are able to fulfill the requirements of a customer immediately. But if you are not ready to sacrifice economies of scale, it means you are trying to serve a cluster of customer with one single facility, and then you are maintaining some level of economies of scale in your outbound transportation also. So, and this is again a dynamic decision. Today I am operating with lot of responsiveness, in my outbound distribution, but tomorrow it is possible that I may not like to have that high level of responsiveness, and I may close some of my legs, some of my outbound legs, and then I will try to consolidate to become more efficient in my outbound transportation. Vice versa is also possible. Today I am operating in a very efficient manner in my outbound transportation, but tomorrow I feel that market is becoming more and more responsive. Data will tell me that market is becoming more and more responsive, and therefore I also need to be more responsive, and at that time I may open more legs in my outbound transportation, so that I can reach closer to my customer and I become more responsive. So, the decisions with respect to outbound transportation is also governed with the help of my analytical tool, with the help of my data. So, I can take decision whether I should have more efficiency or I should have more responsiveness in my outbound transportation. So, with this we come to end of first three important decisions which will help us to develop our supply chain capabilities. We will discuss three more such important capabilities issue in our next lecture. Thank you very much.